So,
unarmed paladin.
waking up,
Fuck that.
you guys
No, that's move.
have had a choice to go north or south.
Yes.
You look
Always go
at
south.
up and down the coastline. It looks like this.
Face. Cincinnati.
At least it's pretty.
It is pretty. As you stand on the beach, the white sands are warm. Your clothes are in various states of
You're a
wet.
little quiet
Those of
compared
you
to
who wear
everybody.
clothes. And as you all,
Is that any
each
better?
of you simultaneously
I can-
turn
I can
around, you see
Put it by my
the
mouth.
jungle of Chult
Perhaps that's better.
behind you. The
massive
notes.
spewing of salt water. Yeah.
Yeah, Amp,
His descriptors.
Chult is a lot like a woman. The prettier it is, the more
I will
deadly
smite
it
you. That's fair. You can never tell with you, Ron. You can never tell with you.
I know.
I will smite you. Oh, okay.
You're
Okay, be good. Be
jumping to
good.
conclusion.
See, I throw cake at
I thought
Crow
we were
Dad, I have
going
to-
for like it's absolutely beautiful and fun to be around, and then when you're done, you get the bill, and it sucks.
that too sounded like it was going to end badly.
I mean, if you do that, maybe it's not good too.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, I didn't start this mess, but
You didn't have to be a part of it either.
I certainly
I'll be able
So
to better tell
as
once
each
I
of your
get back to my
characters turns
PC.
around and
Oh,
faces
okay.
this jungle, the hot, humid,
jungle.
oppressive heat that emanates from the canopy above seems to billow out like steam out of an oven door. This is heat unlike anything most of you have ever felt before, barring those of you who have been to Chult. It's oppressive, it's sticky. You never quite get dry. You're always some semblance of damp. From San Diego, it's like Lemon Grove in the summertime.
I hate it.
The jungle,
Florida.
as you face it inland,
I'd
is
imagine
filled with
Florida.
massive trees and broad verdant leaves that tower high up into a large canopy that blots out most of the sun underneath until about 60, 70 feet in, the light disappears immediately and all you can see is black. There are thick vines that slither up the trees that have minuscule stickers and those little fiberglass spikes on them almost, and that cover them,
hey, Trigger,
looking
how are
like
you?
climbing to be a most painful affair. You look up the coast and
Yeah,
it's
Trigger doesn't have one
rocky
either.
and craggy.
Just
You
wild
can't
magic,
see any
sorcerer
civilization,
supreme. How about
so
a
to
fireball?
speak of.
You look like you could use a shot of
But-
fireball.
Nevertheless, we are here in Chult.
Stingo. Sorry. I look at the
Morgoth
forest and go,
foreshadowing.
Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think we ever were in Kansas, so
Where is Kansas?
You have plane shift. You have no idea.
not at the moment.
I'd like to plane shift back
Let's see
to
how long I
Kansas.
stay one
click
armed
my
man.
heels.
Yeah, I'm feeling it though. Yeah.
Click, please, please, please.
For him to rival Jill
I'll be
Graham.
there tomorrow. You're not missing
Wild
anything.
magic.
Been
Am I trying to
through
fireball
it.
you on accident? Maybe, perhaps.
Hopefully, if you're
It's a
going
good
through
one.
there tomorrow, the tornadoes will have subsided a wee touch.
I'll
Much,
probably end up spending the night there.
much to the opposite of Kansas, the waves lap at the shore. Green, like the water has a greenish tinge to it from the moss under the waves, but out in the distance, they're crystal blue as you see the last traces of Aramag, the dragon turtle, sink under the waves in the distance.
You dragon turtle.
Bye.
That fucking turtle.
Hey, language.
I'm sorry. Did he not just try to drown us?
Still
No.
like the turtle more than the other creature.
Oh, yeah. The fuck
I
is
just-
that thing?
As you say that,
Yeah, the
Morgoth,
one
your
that was-
eyes trail the path that the hag took into the jungle until she went ethereal and disappeared.
Oh, yeah. There was a thing.
It's worth it, maybe, yeah.
We want to follow the creepy hag that stole our blood, I think.
Well, let's see. They survived the whirlpool, and they're heading to somewhere, preferably
Girlfriend
more
isn't feeling
safe than
good,
here.
so I'm taking care of her. Have a good night and session.
Oh?
Thank you,
how
Sugar.
bad
I
could their guidance
appreciate it.
be?
I hope she
You
feels
know?
better.
That's a fair point.
Plus, I owe him something.
So, the way that travel works in Chult is you will pick at the start of the day a navigator. I will roll a survival check for the navigator to discern your direction. You can tell me where you want to go, east, west, north, south. I will roll.
Whew.
You can pick to go at a normal pace, a fast pace, or a slow pace. They have their various pros and cons.
Rar.
I mean, I'm pretty good with jungles.
Are you?
By all means, you can lead us through.
Well, what about you, Master Grung? You're from here, are you not?
Oh, true.
Not from this part of the town. I'm more from the interior of the...
Love that. We got kicked.
I mean, we can always both lead the way, or you could be behind me if you want, and if you see anything
Rude.
that could help us or that seems familiar, just let me know.
You got it. And I will aid you if I can, by all means.
So the rules are strict. There is no advantage given to the survival check for the travel of the day.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's
Can I
just
give guide?
You can give
Can I
guidance.
give guidance?
Yes.
Having a bird's eye scout can't give you bonuses.
If you would like to fly above the canopy, you can do so at your own peril.
I would actually send my familiar if I was going to do anything, because it's a bird.
Do you have the components to cast Find Familiar?
Oh, right. Forgot about that. Have to wait. Yeah. No.
Do you have the thing? No, I do not have the thing.
I'd be requiring you to have crap to have.
Damn it. Rules.
Boo.
In my head.
So as you guys look up and down the coast, you can go, like I said, either north or south.
Well,
I
I'm gonna
would
look-
generally add on that, generally speaking, Chult, the more north is generally the safer territories, but that's just generally speaking. That doesn't always come true.
Ron,
generally
roll me an insight check, please.
Okay.
Yeah, do we see, like, smoke coming from either direction? Any sign of domestication in the distance?
Nothing.
say I was gonna look around the trails and see which one would possibly be better to take, but
So as you insight check your own personal knowledge of Chult, because this is not a part that you've been to before, being from the
Right.
interior and probably more south, if I'm correct in my map of where Grungalung is, and then where
Yeah,
you
it's
would have
pretty much
settled
dead
afterwards.
center of the continent.
Yeah.
Dead center of the jungle, yeah.
You think you're right? God,
Yeah,
you're
as I said,
you're pretty positive you're right, but there's a shadow of a doubt.
oh, by all means. That's why I premised it with most of the time, generally speaking.
so
That's how
north it is, I
but-
guess. And I look at everyone
but-
else and I'm like,
Dangerous creatures do migrate. So what might have been safe, north might have been safe before, but yesterday doesn't mean it is today.
oh goodness. Okay. I'm just like
We could
sitting there
just stay
thinking,
at
I'm
the
like,
beach,
we will go.
You know, make a little house.
I don't know.
It'll
North?
boot.
North sound good? I mean, it's
I just stay there.
generally from someone who's
I
been
just
here.
stay there.
So
Hey,
I feel like
Hazel,
that's at
how
least
you
somewhat of
doing?
a start.
I'm
Ooh.
confident we should go
I
north.
think Ron is a little
Okay.
loud right now.
And I
If you want a performance check, I could do that too.
I would like to. I would go up and. Are we ready to start heading out, or do we
Better
need,
than yesterday. I love that. That is so
are we
good to
rested
hear.
enough?
I'm glad you're having a good day.
'Cause I
Monday was
know-
good.
I
I'm
mean,
sure we're
with this-
saving. If not, let's go, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
y'all have a long rest, so you're about as rest as you're gonna get.
True.
All right,
true,
before
true.
we head out, seeing how I can only do this for this particular reason, I'm going to use my 2 sorcery points to get an extra first level spell slot.
Okay, I don't believe it works that way. I think you have to use them to regain a spell slot.
Okay, well, either way. All right.
All right, folks, who is your navigator for the day?
You have my faith, Jade.
I'm like, if there's one thing I do know, it's a forest, because that's basically it.
This one might be a little more moist and humid than your familiar forest, but you know better than I.
It is very sticky. I don't really like it.
I trust you.
All right, I will roll.
Oh, I don't like that.
So we're going to start off at a normal pace.
Before we get too started off, I'm going to use Druidcraft and figure out what the weather's going to be to make sure we can take any appropriate precautions if necessary.
Clear skies on the horizon, good sir.
Fantastic. That's what I like to hear. Also, that's a little weird, probably, but you know.
Doesn't have to be a storm every day.
It does not have to be a storm every day. A little bit every day.
Time for those.
Be some rain, but in the jungle. But you know.
This would not account for like the light, like light rain that might come through here and there, but no storms.
Okay, that's good. Storms are really what I'm looking for. You know.
I figured as much. Yeah. So with that, you spend the day traveling 10 miles down to the mouth of not the back end of the peninsula that you're on currently. As you get to the bay, you see various fish and dolphins that are kind of making their nightly preparations for feeding in the afternoon sun, and using the sheltered inlet that you're currently standing in.
You know, that would be
to
nice. Maybe
get
I don't know if there's multiple
some respite from the
locations or anything
tides.
like that they could go to, but that might
Sun begins to
also
go
make a difference,
down, and you feel pretty confident that you're going in the right direction.
I like lean against a tree after walking. I'm like, huh, okay.
Still no signs of civilization.
Yeah, there's no people. It's hot and sticky. Even with the sun going down, it is still hot and sticky. Why?
It's almost worse at night. As the sun crests over the horizon, you see the green flash. You feel like the humidity intensifies.
How does it get worse? The sun is gone.
And then
stop saying
almost
sticky. You don't like sticky?
like within an hour
is that a
or
word
two,
you have a problem with?
you feel it start to get a little chilly as the heat that was soaked up by the sand is dissipated, and the area you're from is a little farther
Maybe
away
clouds
from
will
the
go, too.
jungle. So
The
the
jungle.
heat that is kept therein via greenhouse effect is dissipating before it's reaching
I
you.
didn't hear what
It's
you said. Can you please repeat?
probably,
Sorry. Oh, I said
you
it's.
know,
I'm glad
about
that you had a better
65
day,
to
and
68
hopefully,
degrees with the
like,
wind.
I don't know if there's multiple locations, like maybe changing locations, or that person changing locations, or
But
where you guys
But
have
still
to
sticky.
be
if you add
in
the
the area.
humidity
It might
in,
be a lot
yeah,
nicer. You know.
still very humid.
So like the last trek of the walk, Jade's just walking like this
Right now,
because
yes,
her
and I
clothes are
don't
still wet.
understand
And she
why.
can't figure out why. And
That
she's
jungle.
like,
That jungle.
sucks. I really, really, really hate this. I'm usually dry by now. Why? I look at Grog and I'm like, I was about to ask, how do you deal with this? And then I was like, never mind, because he's a frog. He doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a frog who doesn't wear clothes, so he doesn't have to worry about the clothes sticking to the sweat and the sweat not drying on your body. I'm like,
It's kind of
Hate
always
it.
a little damp.
You've got to leave your clothes on.
and
So,
then, but
at the end of the day, you find an area. Are you guys sticking to the coast, or are you trying to go inland more, like away from the coast?
well, we were looking for a port, right? Because we were supposed to come in at a port, like a port
Mhm.
town. So
Yep.
I assume we would probably stay on the coast to see if we
Yeah,
can find this port town.
Pretty good.
What was that, Dricobon?
staying on the coast seems to track pretty good for what we're trying to find.
Okay, awesome. Morgoth, what were you going to say?
Or follow the first sign of fresh water inland.
Okay, you see no rivulets of fresh water. There's some pools, but saltwater pools. How much water do you have on you, by the way?
That's a great question.
Everybody should have, I think, at least one water skin.
Yep.
And it
And
holds. Mhm.
hold on. Did I take it?
Unless it came from something that I didn't do, it wasn't part of my starting gear.
Let
I-
me double check for you, sir. One.
Definitely do
There
not
aren't any
have anything at
Other
all
locations.
beyond.
It's just a thrift
what we
shop, and
can
I'm not
find.
sure.
Oh
I
yeah, you
understood
have
your
no
question
water.
though. Oh, I
your
was just
food
meaning
is-
like
You-
perhaps they could
no
do
food
something
either.
to make it better. So
I was on a
if there
boat,
isn't any
and
other
it
locations,
didn't
then
come with my starting stuff.
yeah,
and
that
I
sucks.
didn't really have
They
time
need to fix
shop.
that for you.
Mm.
They need to do
Fair
something.
enough.
But I am glad that you
Um,
had
We
a
were
better
planning
day.
on shopping
That
when
is
we made it
still
into Chult.
absolutely brilliant.
I'm
But you-
kind of lacking
Dragon
that
Turtle
stuff as well.
over.
So, who here is wearing medium or heavy armor?
Me.
Leather is
No.
not medium armor.
Chain?
Chain is medium armor, I believe, or heavy, one of the two. It's one of those two.
The
So-
chainmail is heavy, I think.
Yeah, chainmail is heavy.
Mhm.
I'm
So,
having a bad day.
everyone who does not have more than their water skin has pretty much drained it throughout the day as the sweat drips off of your skin, and you are dehydrated. Roll me a con save, everybody. Morgoth, you do yours at disadvantage, and
Yeah, definitely glad I had a better day. Yes.
Willem, since you're pretty heavily clothed, and Jade, roll me yours at disadvantage too.
Oh, I just rolled. Hold up, let me roll again. My bad.
Well,
We're
I'll
gonna
roll
Feel good.
reset
something
our
like that.
dice for this session. That's what we're doing.
So,
Oh, I think I rolled a
it's a-
save. Oh shoot.
yeah, I need it's a con save. It's supposed to be a con save.
Yeah, I rolled a
Oh,
check.
okay.
They're both the same. My check and save.
Okay.
Oh.
So, Willem, let me see here. You need to roll me one more con save because you had disadvantage. Oh no, you rolled the disadvantage off the 18.
Yeah.
All right, you still you pass. Chuck passes.
Cloud, half of my inventory is showing up, the other half is not. One is inventory, one is equipment. I'm showing everything that qualifies as one, not the other. So like my things like my water skin, torch, tinderbox, rations, mess kit are not translating to fantasy grounds for some reason.
Okay, that's fair. Just use your D&D Beyond inventory for now, and then I'll add it in. Well, whatever you have left, I'll add in.
Okay.
So burn your water skin in D&D Beyond.
I don't think I can. That's part of the problem on my end. I don't know how.
All
It
right,
has a
so-
weird grayed out thing to it.
So, Cloud, you said the people that were wearing the heavier clothes drink their water skin, or everyone?
Everyone had to drink their
Okay.
water skin, but the people who have heavy clothes or medium or heavy armor roll at disadvantage to save.
Good evening. Hi, Blazin.
Oh,
How
but
are
I don't
you?
have
Happy
medium
Monday.
armor, so would I have rolled a disadvantage?
You are wearing heavy
Light.
clothes.
Oh.
According to your picture.
Yeah, it's just my armor with my little dyed shirt.
I figured it out. It's in my backpack. That's why it's not showing up.
Fair enough. Okay.
Doing well, thanks. And
one
yourself?
second,
I'm
Morgoth.
doing good. I had a
Jade,
pretty
either
good
way,
day.
you would
I
have failed.
slept well.
So
Yeah.
So
8 or
Yeah.
7, you would have failed.
Yeah.
DC was 12.
they're adventuring in Chult.
Morgoth,
And apparently the heat is treacherous.
inventory.
Absolutely treacherous.
All right, I added your a water skin. I'll get everything else in on the break.
What on earth could they be doing?
So those of you who failed, are going to take 1 level of exhaustion.
I just
Oh
eat.
no.
Just need a nap.
Somehow I
That
don't
was-
think that's going to help you. Also, can you sleep when it's this hot and humid?
Not
Jade
well.
can sleep anywhere.
There are no rules that say you cannot sleep. So that was Imp and Jade that failed. Everybody else passed.
And all of a sudden, I'm just like, oh.
You as you sit down to rest for the day,
You slept well. Lucky.
some of you are more
Hey,
exhausted than others,
it is
but
so
each of
rare
you
for me to
have to
sleep
dip
well,
into
and
your
considering I had a week
your
of troubled sleep
rations,
to actually get good
which
sleep,
I will have to give you as well. More
even if it was at fucked up times, I'll take it. You know.
The rations are here, so whatever you did worked.
Okay, cool.
Weird. I'm sorry. This is super weird.
I'm like eating my ration, half asleep. My eyes are closed, and I'm just like.
Alrighty. So those of you who do not have food will need to get food or ask for food from your party
I will
members.
ask if anyone has any food they can spare, as
Oh.
I was on a boat and didn't anticipate this.
And do you think you could assist us with that little berry trick of yours?
Oh, yeah. And I cast good
I'm the
berry.
same way. Yeah.
Alrighty. So you have 10 good berries. Burn me a spell slot.
Yep. And I hand a good berry to everyone. This should be actually a little bit better because this will satisfy us for a day and then save some stuff and then we'll have some left over.
So full, Jesus! What the hell did you feed me? That is so much.
It's just a good berry.
I realize that, but if it's enough food for somebody that's huge, it seems like it would make me really full. Just saying.
It just floats down and just.
Like, oh god, I ate too much. I need a nap. It ain't that time.
So I'm gonna eat one as well. So I'll have 5 left.
Alrighty. And I believe they last 24 hours.
Yes.
So you have your good berry that you are parched. Not too bad off. Some of you are okay. The waves lick against the coastline and kind of like provide this ominous lullaby to go to sleep to. How are we resting, guys?
Can I do something first? I'm gonna look at Pachukchuk and go. Do you think it would be safe to start a fire real quick? Maybe we can boil some water, get some more fresh water for us.
Yes, please.
Not going to be any more dangerous than. It's not going to make it any more dangerous than it already is.
Certainly not
Okay.
going to make it more dangerous than not having water.
Exactly.
Does anybody happen to have a bucket?
So what water are you boiling?
I was gonna boil the salt water.
If you boil
that's
salt water,
It's not going to help you at all.
no, that's not. That's going to be worse.
Okay.
If damp, you might be able to create some condensation off some tree leaves without too much difficulty.
I don't think there's anything I can do for that at the moment. But first things first, does anybody have something that we can put the water into to boil?
Empty water skins bottles, yeah, for sure.
No, but if you had some cloth and a water skin, you could take the water you have and strain it in through some sand that I happen to have, which would function as a filter. Although that is not probably why I
Welcome
have it.
to Survivor Man, D&D style.
It's on my stock list of wizard crap.
Sand is used to dry ink.
Oh, well, sure. I don't think my ink is going to dry at any point in the near future. So using it as a filter seems perfectly valid.
Can we
enough.
try and do that and get as much water that we can for?
I have a mess kit, which some of us may also have, which has like a bowls as part of it.
Well, that would work to filter the water through some cloth and some sand if we can generate condensation off of some tree leaves.
A little more danger. Yeah.
That would work for condensation, but like not for salt water. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's misty in the morning.
I'm interested in
Okay.
playing with salt water to drink. That's all her.
I'm off.
Don't drink that. Okay, so Dragovon, I would say that maybe you had a handkerchief or something in your pocket that you could
Sure.
wrap the sand up in to kind of create a pouch.
Yep.
And then Chuck, I will say that there is a coffee kettle in your urn. Or in your
Okay.
mess kit.
I may go to sleep
Okay.
soon. Sorry for not being. No, it's
That
not
wasn't
a
foreshadowing
problem.
at all, was it?
Especially when you have
No, not at all.
It's a very small urn.
issues sleeping sometimes. Like you get it when you can. I have another friend
Well, we
like
know
that
where
too
to
that
put
just
him
struggles to
when we're
sleep.
done
And
with
so
in the
when
coffee,
you can, you
coffee
get it,
kettle.
I'm keeping it if he dies. Because if there's a coffee kettle, that's a perfect place to use the thing and the sand to make the filter, and that'll be dandy.
I'd be down for some
Uh,
charcoal. Oh, you mean
Dragovon,
like
roll
a
me
charcoal
survival check or a
filter
history
that
check,
you
your
could
choice.
go and make charcoal from a fire?
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go
Look
with
at our
this
pally.
and look
Love
at
that.
my old character.
Yeah, my brain just doesn't shut down. It happens, hon. It does. Don't put me in this one.
You would somehow a little synapse in your brain fires and remember that you need 2 gallons of water a day.
Well, we're gonna be
Per-
traveling slow because we're gonna have to do this a lot.
Yep, per
Why not
person.
pee in a hole
Um,
that should provide
On
fresh
the
water
upside, if
from
we can,
condensation?
if anybody's
Yeah, but
got
they
a
don't
cloak
have.
or something like
They
that,
haven't
we
come
can
up with an
use that
idea of how
gather
to use a
condensation
canvas or anything
overnight.
to collect.
Can I just rip off a piece of the fabric that
Drink
is
each other's
hanging off my
sweat.
belt that I usually have and just go, will this work?
Like, hey, friends like friends. That's
I
how
do
that
have
works.
an extra set of clothing if
That would
it's
work
necessary.
because we could string that up in trees or whatever to create something to localize our
Take a 3-level spell
Jay, roll me a
create food and
d20,
water.
please.
Who?
None of them have it.
Jay.
I think they're level 2 now.
Yeet.
So your cloak is one of those little courtesan half cloaks that goes right just below your, like down to the mid of the back of your thighs. So I would say that you could get enough with that
The
for
rod?
2 water
Yeah.
skins.
Decanter
If
of
it's
endless water?
damp enough.
Problem solved, right?
Yeah, suppose if we have to. It's rather nice clothes, but if we have to, go right ahead.
Well, we may have to do it a couple times though, and get somebody up at night.
So we have good plans. This is good preparation for not having very many tools. Didn't realize that each of you were RPing Les Stroud from Survivor Man, but right on. So getting your preparations together, you feel like this is going to be at least enough to get some water to everybody in the morning. What does the sleeping situation look like?
Well, we certainly need to
We
have
need to. Yep.
We gotta set up a watch order.
Well, I'd rather find myself staying up late anyway, so I don't mind staying up a bit before after everyone goes to sleep, so I can take the first couple watches.
I probably should be on the first or last. Unless you're somehow drastically different in 5e.
So I would say
Sorry,
it's for you to get the
Forgot
full
to.
day of travel time. It's dark by now. But if you take the
It's
last
maybe the
watch,
cutest
the sun should be up
ever
enough. If
heard
you don't
a
have
bit.
dark vision, you
Oh
could
my
probably provide a
gosh.
better watch than in the middle of the night.
There we go.
Okay.
I'll take second watch because I've got night vision or dark vision, so I can see.
Okay. We have Willem taking first watch, Lex taking, or Jade taking second watch.
I'll take the last watch.
So
Hey, Willem, how about let me take the first watch? You can see in the dark, can't you? Better than me.
You know, you can't really see that well in the dark.
No, I cannot.
Well, if that's the case,
Did they
then
make sure
yeah,
the surf won't
I
reach
don't
him?
mind.
No, no.
Yeah,
Good.
see in the dark. What are we, orcs?
come on, it's 5e, guys. Everything has dark vision.
Tiny's a bitch. It is. It absolutely is.
Before I go to bed, I go and do my little ritual off to the side for a moment. Just kind of get all my things and say my little prayer to Saloon and be like, man, I really miss home.
Dragonborns don't have dark vision. No, they do not.
This forest
Unless
is
they're
weird.
the Matt Mercer 2 variants.
I don't know.
Those ones do.
I don't know what's happening. It's sticky.
No, you're dragons. It matters.
And it's not sticky at home. The water tastes salty. Why does the water taste salty?
Okay, go to sleep.
Okay. And I like pack up my stuff. Say, good night. And I look up at the moon. Pack my things up and lay
Speaking
down.
from someone who almost died.
Okay.
All right,
Believe
Cloud, I got a
saturation
question
from high
for
tide.
you.
It is in
This
fact
is
a
going to
bitch.
be a DM ruling.
No.
All right. That's
That's
a 90%
how
chance
it
of
goes.
an answer. But let me get it. Okay. My shaped water can freeze water. If I was to freeze salt water, well, salt doesn't freeze. So therefore only the pure part of the water would freeze. If I froze it and then we melted the part that was frozen, would that be fresh water? Or be close
Can
enough
I-
to where we can filter or
I
boil
want this
it?
one. I want this one so bad.
Go for it.
Absolutely
So if
freezes.
you go to the ocean, north or south, and there are glaciers that are frozen, you're saying those are freshwater glaciers?
No, they're saltwater, but if you can drink them, they're drinkable. They're not, right?
They're
They're
not.
not?
No.
Okay.
No.
Like I said,
It's just
I
frozen
tried.
salt water and
Yeah.
still just briny.
It does.
You know, we're trying our best to get fresh water.
It
here,
does
man.
freeze to a colder temperature, just as much as salt water boils at a lower temperature.
All right, I was trying.
That's fair.
If we had a nice still, some copper tubing and stuff, we could take the salt water and
Yeah, we could.
Absolutely good. You can have a nice condenser.
It's a desalinator.
Or a desalinator, rather.
There you go. Their words.
All right. So what I have for watch is Chuck, Jade, Imp, Willem, Sorsha.
I need to sleep.
So you don't want to do a watch?
Does it fuck up my exhaustion?
With everybody taking a watch, by the time everybody's done, everyone will have a long rest.
Okay, then sure.
So, Chuck. Everyone else beds down, and you find yourself sitting on one of the rocks that's overlooking the bay there. And the moon is quite beautiful as it dances across the ripples of the calm water in the bay. Are you happy, or how do you feel about being back in Chult?
It's home. I'm both excited and nervous at the same time because I know the dangers of it, and I've never been in this particular part of it before. So there is some fear, but
Okay,
some excitement as well.
fair enough. Alrighty. For the 2 hours of your watch, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be just sitting and watching? Are you going to be patrolling, or what are you doing?
I'll Are we actually in the jungle, or are we more like on a shoreline?
You're probably about, at this point, the jungle's about a mile away from you. Can see it in the distance. You can definitely hear the noises from it, but you are on the coastline.
Is there, say, chances of, say, coconut trees near where we're camping?
Yeah, there's one. As you
All
roll me a
right.
perception check. Roll me a d4. You find a coconut tree with 3 coconuts on it.
I'm going to climb the tree and go get them. I'll knock them down on the ground. If anybody's still awake, I'll let them know, but I'll just knock them down. But meanwhile, I'll kind of stay up there in the tree and guard from up there. Be a lookout up there.
Using your 18 perception check as you climb the tree, you can't be sure if it's a trick of the water, but you think you see lights in the far, far distance. Like we're talking like 50 miles away
In which direction?
to the north.
To the north. All right. I keep a mental note of that. I'll let the party know.
Water
And
skin out of the shell
roll
from a
me
coconut.
a
Yeah, you
survival
burn out the
check.
insect. Yes.
Can I guidance?
Yeah, you can guide yourself. And this is not in conflict to you guidancing yourself, but I want to know how you guidance yourself. What is this? How are you doing this?
It, I kind of grab my arcane / divine focus and kind of make a simple, as I'm holding it, it's kind of a simple prayer.
Fair enough. So as you hear the hooting of monkeys in the jungle and some rustling around, you see in the distance,
A
about a
velociraptor.
mile, right on the edge of the jungle,
A T-Rex. A
a
mosasaur.
small
Mosasaur.
two-legged
Rawr.
dinosaur.
It's a two-legged dinosaur.
As it walks out of the trees and it pops its head up, it looks at you and shakes its head,
Parasaur?
and
I would love a parasaur.
it runs back into the jungle.
Okay.
Trudon? It's a Trudon.
The rest of your watch goes by
Run.
uneventful. You found the coconuts, and
It's a tech
you saw a
parasaur.
dinosaur.
Parasaur, just caw.
Okay. And who's got second watch? Willem?
Jade.
Jade? All right. I wake up Jade. I let her know, and I bring the coconuts to her.
Can you
I'll
make
put
our
one in my
dino stat
backpack,
blocks?
and I'll give her a couple. Maybe she gets it to other people, because I can't carry too many of them. I can use them as ladders. But here, we can use this for nourishment and for drinking.
Oh,
And
why, thank you. And I'll just kind of set it
help
on my
sustain
shelf.
us. And also we can, once we open it with a small crack or whatever, it could be a makeshift little canteen that people that don't have water skins might be able to use after it's emptied. But there's something I found, and I let you know. And I let her know also. While I climbed a tree up there. When I got the coconuts, I saw some lights on it in the distance. They were way out in the distance. It might have been tricks of the humidity or the just stars bouncing off of rivers or whatever. I don't know, but it seems like there was lights about 50 miles north of us.
Okay, so we keep heading north then. Even if it's
So
a trick, lights or something. And I tell him, well, you go get some rest now. I'm gonna make sure to look out for us.
I also, knowing that Jade is who she is, I let her know about. It looked like there's a small dinosaur, and I point in the direction where it is. It just We looked at each other, and it ran off on its own. But
Okay.
if it was, I don't know if it was just a small dinosaur, or a child. That means Mama's got to be nearby. But I just want to be in the lookout.
Well, let's hope it's a small and not one looking for mom. And now I'm just like,
Just
oh dear.
and then with that, I go get my night sleep.
As
So we're
Pachuk
on-
Chuck goes and gets into his bedroll and goes to sleep. What are you doing, Jade?
I'm gonna first kind of like look around and see if I see anything immediately. Is there any like rocks by us, like big rocks or boulders?
Oh,
that
yeah.
I can climb on top of to sit on and like look over the party. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
just
there's some
gonna
rocks.
climb on top of that.
They're about maybe 3 or 4 feet taller than you are.
Okay, and I'll find a way up on those and sit on the top of it so I can see over everyone and also like face the forest and just kind of like sit up there and look around. And I'm just like kind of like fiddling like with the fabric on my stuff, and I'm like looking at this forest, and I'm like, wow, I'm a long way from the Lurkwood, and I guess I'm here now, but I'm a little bit terrified now that we've had our first dinosaur sighting.
You, the
So I'm
once calming sea that when you were on the ship was a source of amazement, now seems gigantic and enveloping, as the blue water has now turned black in the darkness, and the sounds from behind you in the jungle seem
Bitch uncle.
perilous. Same sounds, but you're not used to such loud noises at night. The forest being usually full of chitters and sounds of like little woodland creatures, and this is something that has not just big ass carnivores in it, but various herbivores of many different sizes that all rustle the leaves, call out in their own native
More teeth.
guttural
We need
sounds.
more teeth.
You are a little creeped out.
yeah, and I start like looking around, and in my head, I'm like, I think this is the first time I've actually been homesick since I've been gone. Yeah, this forest is, I don't know, it's just putting me off. I miss my familiar sounds. This forest is not my own. And I just kind of like sit there, like as I'm like looking around, just like trying to comfort myself with like images of home and like picture my own sounds that I remember and kind of like settle myself that way in kind of like a meditative, like deep breaths and like thinking of just like everything that's waiting for me kind of thing. I'm just like, okay, it's okay. I'll get back. This is just an adventure along the way.
While you're calming yourself down, roll me a perception check as you look all around.
Click it, you thing. Thank you.
How do I look at party inventory? You go
No.
Did it
to
not go through?
It did.
go
Oh,
You
here.
rolled,
I was
you rolled a
Party
16.
inventory is party sheet, and
I
then you
didn't
go
have
to
disadvantage.
inventory.
I'm in the forest and with my staff. I should have.
Exhaustion.
Oh yeah,
Exhaustion gives you disadvantage on skill checks.
that's right. Would
That's
it be
how
a
you do
straight
it.
roll then because of my staff?
Yeah, roll me hit advantage and roll me another
It's right by the combat tracker.
nature, another perception check. That was your nature check.
Oh, my bad too.
There we go. Same roll.
Mm.
Just as you're peering around, you see the silvery glint of like the water as it ripples. The moon is, like I said, it's hitting the facets of the waves and it's glinting in the night sky. But then the weirdest thing, you see multiple different streaks of shiny skin shoot out of the ocean about 60, 70 feet away from you. And as you focus in, do you have dark vision?